Hi, this is Thesia of Ellis Family Farms, and most of you have seen the video that I had put out here a couple weeks ago about setting up my pantry, and I do love my pantry, but things have changed a little bit. Not changed. I'm growing into it and learning things, and I'm going to have to make some changes, and I knew that all along, but I think I'm feeling better about a few things. But let me show you what it is that I have in mind to do today. First of all, this mess is all buckets of stuff, and the lids were not off them. We've got beans, there's some pinto beans and white beans, and there's a bucket of salt, and there's some flour. And these buckets were left over from when we had a laundromat years ago, and they were just, so I always made sure that they stayed in plastic and stuff, but they didn't seal very good. Plus, they were in the barn, and you guys know how far I have to walk to get in the barn. So I want to get them in to this room and get it set up. But I've got to do some reconfiguring here. I've got like a roaster and a crock pot. The rest of it's in there to be washed and stuff. I've got canners. I do not have all my canners over here yet. But if you look, I've got plenty of space above this jar. Because I don't use half-gallon jars very much, these were gifted to me, so I just washed them up and bagged them up. And oh yeah, this is guys, if you don't have boxes to put things in, or even if you do, instead of having it open and getting dust, just a little baggie. I reuse these. Some of these I've had for years and years, so that works real good to cover them up. I have to use a gallon baggies for the half-gallon jars. But all these other ones are just quart baggies, and I'm not wasting anything. I'm just reusing them, and it keeps the inside of the jars clean. But I digress. So this shelf could come up. I thought about moving this one down because, you can't really stack things. But you know what? I'm going to leave it as it is. It's tall enough. So I'm going to move this one up a little bit. I'm going to probably move these jars out and move this one up. But I'm going to move up enough so I can make room underneath for these, if not that canner, but certainly things like the roaster and the crock pot and stuff. And there are two reasons for needing to do that. One, I need the space, but like the roaster and stuff, they have little feet underneath them, and they keep getting hung on my wire bar, the wire shelves. So if I can just slide them underneath, I can have that, and that'll give me extra space on both of these shelves where I can get some more in there. And obviously with all these buckets here, I'm going to need more. And what am I going to do with these? This is I'm not going to put these buckets in here like this. Now you know that previously these are for my candles. They may come out from the Kenzie's candle shop that I have on Etsy, but I'm getting more of these bins, and if you look, you can see that there are spices in that. This is my A through M spices. I've got another bucket over here with the M through Z, or N through Z. That's the bin for that. So I need to get bins for these and put them in there. Now some of these beans, I have to admit, I'm going to have to end up canning a bunch of them. When it was just Tom and myself, we would eat beans quite a bit, but I've got a 15-year-old who's like, beans, I don't like beans. And they're always telling you to prepper, do the beans and rice and stuff like that. I'm telling you to store what you eat and eat what you store. We do eat beans, but I use them in the pint-sized things, throw a can of beans into whatever it is I'm cooking, like chili or some soups and stuff like that. So cooking up a full pound of beans doesn't work for me right now. I will probably do it a couple of times in the wintertime anyway, but beans, as they get too old, they take a long time to cook. So probably here pretty soon I'm going to start canning up some of these beans, because that's what I use. And but right now I still need a bin to put them in and get them taken care of. So I am trying to plan how I'm doing all this and see if I can get it done. Well, because I'm a bonehead and I brought all this stuff in advance, I'm going to get this out of here to make room, because first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reconfigure these shelves, and I got to pull them out from the wall to do that. So let's do that. Well, it took a little doing, but I got the one shelf done. I like the spacing, and I think I can move my jars back over here. And obviously I've got some room for it. I've got 3 more canners I gotta do, but I think we could put some up there. I don't know, we can see how that goes. But at least there's some spacing for some jars and stuff. I may not rearrange this one simply because I am going to be having bins and I can stack them. And but we'll just have to see how that goes as it goes. But I think I'm going to start putting some things back now. I believe I'm already really liking this setup here. Like I said, the other one I have set up is A through M, and this is supposed to be N through Z. Well, obviously it only starts with the O. But I've already learned something from this. When I had them in the buckets, they were just kind of stacked on top of each other, and I tried to keep track. But because I couldn't see the labels, I didn't know. Well, I've got 3 oregano leaves. That's pretty good because I use that pretty consistently. Onion powder, okay, yeah. Sage, yeah. Here's some paprika and some parsley. What I did not know is how much tarragon I had. It's interesting because I had looked and looked and looked, and apparently I didn't look very closely and couldn't find any in the grocery store, and I felt like I didn't have a backup, so I actually had to order some online. Well, I've got plenty of tarragon, and I just don't go through that much, so that's interesting. And turmeric, now I do use thyme pretty consistently, but turmeric, not very often. I may up myself on that as according to some recipes and stuff, but tarragon, I did not need that much. But this is helpful. I can see the labels. I know what I have now. I know whenever I walk in here, I can see at a glance, oh, I do not have a backup of this. And I can get it in here. So that's, at least now my spices are put away properly, and that makes me feel better. Okay, here's my mess in the hallway. Let's see how much of that we can get into these bins I bought. Well, as I was redoing things, I discovered that this is going to be a pretty fluid situation, but I think I'm pretty pleased with how things came together. Let's look at it. I really like these clear bins. I mean, well, if I spell properly, I just wrote them on there, but you can see black and northern beans. Now, my black beans, I ran into an issue with them. I was unpacking them. All that stuff was packed in the barn, and it was full of bugs, so they went out. So that means I definitely need to restock my dried black beans. And most of these beans, in order to use them up, I'm going to can them. Probably not the lentils, they do pretty good. Red beans, we use a lot of red beans and chili and stuff, but not a whole bag full. So over time, I'm going to keep these filled up, because you know how they say, rice and beans and stuff. But we'll talk about that in here in just a minute. So, and flours, we don't have much of that anymore because I'm now allergic to wheat. We don't keep, and Kinsey, when we first got custody of her, she used to do a lot of baking and stuff, and she doesn't now. She's 15, she doesn't care. So I don't need a lot of flours. We don't use a lot of flour. I do have some rice flour in there. I probably need to stock up on that a little bit more. I obviously need to stock up on my black beans. We got plenty of egg noodles here. I'm trying to figure out how to learn how to do this. Got plenty of egg noodles here. Oh, that says oats, but it's actually sugars now. And the reason it says well, I originally had the oats in there, but I've noticed as I've stacked these up, there's actually room for stand-up things. So the oats are there. We've got some cornmeal there. I moved the tea out of one of the bins and put it here. I've got my salt, and these are my spices. And I've got brown and white rice, and if you look, they're just plain old bags of rice. I do put them in an extra, most of the time I put them in an extra baggie for some protection. It's what I should have done with the black beans, but I will learn from my mistakes. I think I like it. I like the fact that they're clear. I'll do some better with the labeling just because this is messy and I don't like messy necessarily. But it's looking good. As you can tell, there's more to do. Let me see. Oh, I've got spaghetti that I gotta get put away. Here's some regular teas. Not regular teas. These are herbal teas. We don't drink a lot of herbal tea. I kept trying some and I just don't like them, but I may try again because winter's coming. I need one more bin for spaghettis, and I can just put these two. I think there's some tortellini and there's some rotini there. We don't use those very much, but so I need to stash them with one of the other pasta bins somehow. Not because we do use a lot of egg noodles. I don't eat them. Those are the macaroni, but the guys, or the rest of my family does. So it's looking good. I need to get it back up on my bottle of water here. This is kind of getting filled in. I still haven't brought all my canning stuff over, but it's coming. Well, see, I've got the meat grinder up there. It's coming together, guys. I'm liking it. I'm going to do another video that specifically talks about the why of the pantry management and what I do to manage my pantry. And this video, the reason it's not going to be in this one, I'm still setting up. I'm still moving. I'm still trying to put things the way I want them to do. So, I'll get there. It's working out. I'm happy about it. So obviously this is still a work in progress and I'm learning a lot as I go. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this video out. Like I said, I'm going to do another video here pretty soon that talks about the whys and maybe some management skills on pantry management and some of my other views on it. But I just kind of want to, show you what I'm doing in here, because I have to admit I'm really grateful for this spare bedroom. I know not everybody doesn't have a spare bedroom, but I'm happy for this and I'm grateful for it, and I will share what I can with you. So if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can see whatever else I'm getting into, because I'm doing more than just pantries around here. I'm doing a lot of things. But as I always say, guys, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, to live until you die. Okay? This is all you got. Make the most of it. God bless, guys. See you next time.